Welcome back to my channel, you guys. If you guys are new here and you don't know who I am, my name is Patrice Carothers, and I'm so happy to have you guys stop by my channel. So today we are going to be talking about my 8 and 9 weeks of pregnancy. So let's get started. So during my 8-week of being pregnant, I have my handy dandy phone here because I am very forgetful. So I wanted to start talking about my 8-week symptoms, what I've been going through, and all of that jazz. So we're going to get right into it. So my 8-week symptoms were I was very still nauseated. Oh my gosh, like the nausea was not letting up. I was still super nauseated and it was horrible. I did throw up one time this week, unfortunately. That was like early in the morning. I wasn't really feeling that great, and usually I can try to breathe through it like how I was telling you guys before. I usually just stay really calm and stay really still and try to like get my breathing down and get like, okay, I can do this. It's okay. And I can usually make it through, right? But this day, it was way too powerful for that. So I couldn't do it. And I threw up everywhere. Unfortunately, it was disgusting, but it was real life. But it's like, I don't know if anybody else has gone through nausea or morning sickness and any of that stuff during their pregnancy. But while you're going through it, you don't really necessarily feel sick afterwards. Once you throw up, you're like, oh, okay, I'm fine. But during this whole COVID thing and everybody being kind of skeptical, I just stayed home for the sake of my coworkers and stuff like that. I don't want them to feel uncomfortable with me and me not telling them the reason of why I'm throwing up and why I don't feel great. I could only just say like, hey, I don't feel that great today. And they're like, why don't you feel that great? So to eliminate all those questions, I did stay home that day, and I was perfectly fine. Like, yes, I had morning sickness in and out, but like I've discussed earlier, my morning sickness usually comes at night, so it's kind of weird for me to throw up in the morning, but I think I just got out of bed too fast, and I think that's what it was. So I would definitely recommend getting out of bed as slow as possible. That really helps me. And I always have like some crackers and my water right next to me on my nightstand. So just like if you feel like you're a little weak or something, I would eat some crackers. But if I didn't feel like I was weak or anything, I would just drink my water and get up, whenever I felt the need to get up. So I would honestly wake up 15 minutes before I needed to get up to go to work. And I would just sit up in bed and just get my body ready to like move forward. Otherwise, it was going to be a disaster. So that's what happened in week 8. I was also, another thing too here is I was also craving spicy foods. Like, oh my gosh, I haven't had any food cravings really, but this week it was like, come on, spicy foods. And it was so weird for me because I am not a spicy food eater. Like I do not like spicy foods. I mean, I can eat hot Cheetos and I can't even eat the whole bag in one sitting, but that is about it. And that's it for my spiciness. Like, that's my spice tolerance. And it's a little bit different than like having a snack that's spicy than having actual spicy foods, because spicy foods would usually make me mad. Like, I'm like, oh, I can't even enjoy it the way I want to enjoy it. So yeah, it was so weird craving spicy foods, but I've been very much enjoying it. So I'm just going to keep on this train while it lasts. So I'm so happy to be part of like the spicy food family. Like, oh, I just love spicy food right now. So that's it for week 8. I still had a little bit of soreness in my boobs. My boobs hurt this whole entire time, so that wasn't anything. I didn't have any like abdominal cramps or any lower back pain or anything like that this week. So that is the wrap up for week 8. All right, you guys, so now we have made it to the dreadful week 9. So I'm going to tell you guys all the symptoms and everything that's been going on with me during week 9. So week 9 was a very, 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 very hard week for me. And it was so hard because on top of me having to deal with my morning sickness and just feeling nauseated, at this week, it wasn't just like during the night. It was literally all day, you guys, like all day, all night. It was just forever. So on my handy dandy scale, from 10 being obviously hospitalized and you need medication for it, to 1 being like, oh, I really don't have any morning sickness. I would say for this week it was at a level 6 for me. I didn't like throw up or anything this week, but let me get into the reason of why it was so bad. So let me get into my symptoms that I did have this week. So obviously, as I mentioned, I have nausea. So morning sickness was a real thing. And on top of that, I was extremely, extremely exhausted. And I felt like a walking zombie. Like, I can only imagine what a zombie feels like. I don't know what it feels like, but I just felt like I was just going through the motions and everything. Like, my body was lagging. Like, it just felt like I was in this constant state of drunkenness. But I wasn't really drunk because I can still obviously use my mind and I can still be cohesive and collect my thoughts and do all of that good stuff. But it just felt like the whirlwind felt like I was in a state of drunkenness, and that's how tired I was going throughout the whole entire day, trying to literally fake it until I make it. Because at this time, my coworkers and my friends and stuff still didn't really know that I was pregnant at this time. So it was really hard trying to get through the day and just having people ask you those, even the simple questions like, hey, you're all right? And you're just like, yeah, I would always try to perk up and be like, yeah, of course I'm fine. But deep down inside, I was like, oh my gosh, what is going on with me? I literally felt like I can sleep anywhere. And when I'm saying sleep anywhere, I was at my desk at work, and I do not recommend this for anybody. I feel like if you're this tired, you should just go home. But that would have been the whole week, so I couldn't really do that. So I was so tired. I was typing at work, and it took me so long to get this email out because I would start typing, and then next thing I know it, I was just drifting off. It was so crazy, you guys. I have never in my whole entire life been that exhausted. So on top of me feeling like, oh my gosh, if I move, I'm going to throw up. Oh my goodness, this morning sickness is really getting me down. I was extremely, extremely exhausted on top of that. So it really wasn't fun. It was a very, very hard week. And then another thing that was going on during week 9 is I had sore boobs, of course. Tender breasts was always one of my fortes. I don't understand why my boobs hurt for so long, but they did. And I also had lower back pain, just a little bit. It wasn't anything that I needed to consult my doctor about, but every time I would move my right leg, it was always my right leg. So if I was sitting down and I would move my right leg, my back would hurt a little bit, and it was a little mild pinching. I don't know how to explain it because it sounds like, oh my gosh, that's something serious, but it was just a little twinge in my lower back when I would move my right leg. And it wasn't every time I would move it. It was if I was sitting down and if I stood up too fast or something. I don't know what was the really cost of it, but it just felt like I needed to adjust my back. You know what I mean? It felt like I needed to pop my back or just twist it a little bit or do some stretches, which is what I was doing, trying to stretch it out. But it was so low, really towards my tailbone, that it just felt like I couldn't reach it, right? So my husband's trying to help me. He's trying to massage it, and it really just didn't hit the exact spot. And then one day I was laying down in bed and I had my pregnancy pillow. Thank you, sister, because that is heaven sent. We can talk about all the things that has definitely helped me out during this pregnancy, and that is one of them. So I was laying down in bed on my left side, and I went to go stretch, before bed, I just went to stretch myself out. and my back popped right in the spot that I needed it to pop, and I was like so so thankful. I was so thankful, you guys, that I was almost in tears. Like, oh my gosh, that was how do I do that again? Like, how do I know how to do that every time that I have this little kind of twinge and this little pinching when I go to move my right leg? So it was really weird. It was really awkward, and I'm so glad that I was able to kind of finally adjust myself to the point where I could be comfortable, so I couldn't, I can move my right leg and I can get up or stand up or move around without feeling that little pinch, because it just felt like I needed an adjustment. And I didn't really like that feeling, especially going through that like all day, but it kind of lasted all week. I think I finally adjusted my back towards the end of week 9. But that was it. That was all my symptoms in week 9. It was really kind of crazy. I was still kind of craving spicy foods. That didn't really go away. So spicy foods was still on the top of the chain of the foods that I wanted to eat. And at this time, I wanted to mention that I didn't have like any heartburn or anything weird happening with like the acid refluxes or having heartburn or anything like that for eating spicy foods. I was just in love with anything spicy. I was like, yes, I'll try it. So that is it to report for week 8 and 9. And then also I'm going to show you guys some pictures of week 8, which is right here, as you guys can see. Right, you guys, here's my 8-week update, and I wanted to do it with my like clothes on so that like I was never able to like see my stomach like this. So I just wanted to show you guys with like my shirt on, but this is my stomach. I'm literally just chilling. And sometimes obviously my pants get a little uncomfortable. So that's how big my belly is right now. It's nothing too big, but definitely a noticeable difference for myself. Like, I have never had my stomach this big. So baby peanuts in there, and yeah, it's just so fun to see my belly actually growing now. It's kind of weird too. And then here is my nice little belly bump for week 9, as you guys can see. Alright, you guys, here's my 9-week baby bump, as you guys can see here. I feel like my belly is so big right now, but I know it's like something so small, but I never had a belly this big. So this is my 9-week belly bump, and yeah, so far so good, guys. So let me know what you guys experienced during your pregnancy during week 8 and week 9. Was it good for you guys? Did your morning sickness go away? Hopefully it did. I'm waiting so patiently for mine to go away. So hopefully you guys are not in the same boat and your morning sickness didn't last quite as long. So yeah, let me know down in the comment area what you guys experience. Are you guys currently pregnant? How far along are you? Yeah, just let me know. I would love to hear about it. I would love to sit there and chat about it. And let me know if you guys had a pregnancy before, and if you remember what you experienced during the first, few weeks of you being pregnant. Please share that in the comments, because I feel like everybody collectively together can definitely help. Everybody can help each other, just sharing your stories, and just even knowing that woman wasn't alone. Like, hey, listen, I had morning sickness and it was at a level 8. Okay, I had to take meds, I had to do this, and just knowing everybody else's different unique stories can definitely help somebody else that's currently going through it, or somebody that's wanting to become pregnant and wanting to know everything that they're in for if they have those kind of symptoms. So please share your stories in the comments below. If you guys like this video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. It really helps my channel. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I don't understand why, but you should definitely subscribe. It is absolutely free. We're not going to charge you anything here, but definitely hit that subscribe button and click that post notification bell so you guys don't miss another upload from me. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye.